A British win, Steve-O, eh?
Well, we hope so. We often talk about the fact that we are not supposed to be biased, but we have been getting closer and nearer, and maybe tonight is the night. Especially in a full house tonight will help them on.
And the first challenge of this Game 5 of the Gillette Tri-Nations.
Pretty solid defence by Britain. You can see
Scott Hill now, first touch for him.
You can see that they're coming up as a unit.
Great offload, Badiris. He finds Kimorley.
There's problems for Fielding.
Kimorley!
Fielding's got a knock in the eye. What a take.
Picked up by Scott Hill. He gets it wide. This is Tonga. Britain having to muscle up in defence out there. And can they force him over the line? Yes, they can.
Wonderful stuff.
Wayne Bennett. That was the first real chance for Australia.
Certainly got through the first attempted tackle, but they did ever so well.
Brett Kimorley. Here's Badiris. Attacking them up the middle.
Can't afford to do that. Badiris just sneaking away from the dummy half position.
And Kimorley, crossfield kick. Good kick too. There is a host of green and golds there. There's the try for Luke Rooney. A try from nothing. The referee just wants to check that he was onside. But it was a crossfield kick that bamboozled the British defence. And I think if Rooney's onside, there's no question he's got his 6th try in internationals. Kimorley's kick.
Yeah, he's onside, plenty of room. This will be a try, but not the best attempt from the British. He's going to be another thorn in our side yet again, Brett Kimorley. He did it last year on the Kangaroo Tour over to this country, but that was not good play. Maguire and Gleeson failed to talk to each other. Momentum takes him over. No definite movement of the left arm. And the man Rooney has done it again to the British boys. This will be TRY.
Try is given to Luke Rooney to almost deafening silence here in Wigan. What a record Luke Rooney has got in Test match football already. 6 tries, and this is only his 4th cap.
Very poor. Not the kick, that was superb, but look at this. You don't hang around, you've got to make sure you go for the football, and they failed to do that. Why on earth? They just looked at each other. Maguire and Gleeson, they certainly weren't speaking to each other.
Fitzgibbon does not miss those, and Australia have a 6-0 advantage here. Had a great season in the Super League for Leeds. This is Newton. Newton tries to get away, gets the ball away to Long, and Long trying to dance his way through. That's a great run.
Better play there, good work from Terry Newton.
Newton, and he finds Maguire. It goes wide to Sculthorpe, further wide to Gleeson. And Gleeson is grounded over on the far side. Plays the ball quickly to Carney. Carney then to Sculthorpe. A stab in, it's arrived, and they're all after it. Newton, I think, has touched down. It all depends.
But has he?
It all depends how the ball came out then.
I don't think he touched it. I think he may have missed it. It was a great kick from Sculthorpe, putting it to ground. He's onside. This is okay. But I'm not so sure that his arm's going to get to it.
The Australians are asking the referee to call into question the play the ball over on the far side as well.
Doesn't matter that. This, now then. Well, he's made a real error here.
Long that's off the legs of Long. Let's play on.
This is all right now. Does he get it down? Or does he miss it?
No, he gets it down.
This will be TRY then for Newton. Long put pressure on Minicello, and it came off the fullback. TRY.
Try for Newton. He sparked Great Britain last week against New Zealand, and it looks like he might have done it again. The try is given. Terry Newton with the try on this, his home ground. The man who put Britain on the road to victory last week has put Britain on the road to level pegging here.
And it all came about by wonderful build-up by the man who scored the try, Newton. From the dummy half, we could see there that this Australian defence had moved through. Neat little kick. It It was well deserved. Okay, they got the luck of the bounce. You can see there Long certainly put off the fullback Anthony Minicello, but this is the moment. There you see Long puts him into the position. Australian defence struggling to get back. They were at 6s and 7s. Newton scores. Will Farrell complete?
Yes, he does. The scores are level here in Wigan.
You can see there that Australia losing their cool.
That's Mark O'Mealy who's on. Here is Sculthorpe.
But Mark O'Mealy went very, very late into the tackle. And Great Britain have got him rattled. Sculthorpe's gone with the fists.
And that was Farrell found senior, and he almost got through the gap. Here is Newton. It comes back in centre field with Farrell. He brushes off from Kamali, finds Long, and that's a good ball to Sculthorpe, and Sculthorpe's grounded 10 metres away from the line. Newton waits at dummy half. Britain's confidence has lifted. Great ball. This is Bailey. He was fed by Farrell, and he continues on. A metre away. Newton waits. Newton to Farrell. Wide it goes to Reardon. Reardon! He gets it down. I think that's on the line, and that's a try. The referee will hand it on to the video ref to check, but Reardon's come up with a try.
I'm not so sure, Eddie. His first impact is in the field of play. It was wonderful footwork, wasn't it? Matt Singh, but the first time he puts it down, it's
on the line. That's the try. That's the try.
It is now, but watch it here. First time impact, it's short.
On the line.
And then he rolls it.
That's a try.
It's a wide line, Eddie.
It's a wide line. It can be as wide as you like. This is a try.
On the line's a try, Steve-O.
Let's see what the video ref says. He agrees. Britain ahead. Stuart Reardon. What a series this kid's having.
Great work. Got the ball out quickly. And what wonderful footwork. Remember last week, Reardon's second try, he picked up an awful pass on the half volley to turn it against the Kiwis, and they've done it again. Look at that, superb pass from Farrell. He rolls the ball over, certainly gets the impact on the ground in the field of play there and rolls it over. No second movement, it's a try time, but watch the pass from Farrell, misses out senior, and you can see there that Matt Singh was left in absolutely no man's land. What an effort.
Great effort from Reardon, and Farrell way out on the touchline. Well, he knows every blade of grass of this stadium, and he has kicked them from here for Wigan for fun. A big kick for the British captain. He's got the angle. He's got the two. And Great Britain lead by 12 points to 6. With Craig Wing, Andrew Ryan, Willie Mason and Mark O'Mealy, 4 players there who played in the NRL Grand Final. They're on the bench. How strong is this side? And look at this run here. From Minicello, but what a great tackle from the Mellons.
What a great offload from Willie Mason as well. It looked as though the tackle had been completed.
Hill to Kimali, now it's with Mason. Mason offloads to Wing. Oh, they've got Wing, and Wing has got one ahead of him. Great tackle. Terry Newton, last line of defence. It's with Scott Hill. The kick to the in goal, and Carney will run the ball over the dead ball line. From Craig Wing again, halted by senior. This is Tony Carroll. Now it's with Brett Kimali.
Oh, what a hit.
He's not down, and he managed to offload to Minicello, despite the attention of Gareth Ellis. Minicello still wrestled to the ground by Bailey on the last. Craig Wing, Kimali, kick to the corner, and Carney does well.
From the field of play, referee Glenn Black got it absolutely spot on. A lot of the British players were claiming that he defused the ball, but he hadn't. He came from within the field of play. Great take, though.
Good refereeing from Glenn Black.
And good work from Martin Gleeson there. He took Rooney out well and proper.
I'll tell you what, Steve-O, a test of a team's desire and attitude and all their principles in defence is that when they've got to relay after double sets of 6 and handle that, then come up with an error in their half. Great Britain have done that outstanding here in the first half. When they've ever been put on the sword with double sets, they've been able to repel their line all the time. It's been a fantastic defensive effort by the Great Britain team at the moment.
Great ball from Long, and he finds Gleeson. He's got a ton of support either side. This is Maguire. Maguire helps it on, and here now there's a chance. This is Stuart Fielden. Oh, get up, Fielden. He does. The try is given. Great Britain with another try, and that's one of the best of the tri-nations. That's one of the great rugby league tries, scored by the big prop, Stuart Fielden. What a British try! They flooded forward in support. Fielden, his 14th successive Test appearance, his first Test try. Britain could turn round here with a 12-point advantage.
Outstanding. Look how Long just pulled the defence out there. Willie Tonga was in no man's land. They got the numbers. Wonderful offload there. Maguire, Terry Newton. He knew he had the legs. Tell you what, Ian. The St. Helens, or the former St. Helens combination, should we say, has really brought it to the fore. He had players outside, but he had the strength.
But Steve-O, you know what, I know there's some great attack, some great support, and some faith in each other passive, but that was a reward for defending your line, for those couple sets of 6 where they had to repeat sets and they come up with the error. The reward mechanism come in by their flare up the other end of the park.
And you're right, and also the fact that Andy Farrell, remember when they had the knock on Terry Newton, they put the scrum down, Andy Farrell was giving it to them saying, come on, we do not slack. You can't slack in internationals.
No, I think when you look at it, they've had a lot of controlled possession the last couple of days in games against Australia and New Zealand. Tonight, there's a little bit more flair in there, a little bit more urgency to offload the ball, a bit more faith.
This for an 18-6 lead, and it would mean 18 unanswered points by Great Britain against the world champions. 18 points to 6 it is. Newton had to clasp that ball around the chest of Berrigan. Here is Wing, now it's with Minicello. Minicello just delaying the pass, taking the tackle himself. They're inside the danger zone, 9 metres away from the British line. Craig Wing waits, and he will find Brett Camorley. And Camorley will give it to O'Mealy, and he will march through. Mark O'Mealy to score under the post on his Test debut. The defence just melted away. It was a brilliant pass, but what a run from Mark O'Mealy.
And what a superb offload from the halfback, Brett Camorley. Again, a thorn in the British side. This is nothing short of superb. It may look easy, but it's all about timing. And O'Mealy came at the very, very right moment. And it stunned the crowd here. It was quality. He's a great player, this youngster.
He is, and he has scored 3 tries on this tour already for against Cumbria for the Anzacs. Just a couple of weeks ago, Mark O'Mealy, the game that really allowed some of the fringe players in the Kangaroo squad and the New Zealand squad to maintain match fitness. And Paul Sculthorpe there is reading the riot act now to his players. Camorley here to maybe notch his first international goal for the Green and Golds. Bang in front. Fitzgibbon still off the field, and Camorley adds the extras. It's 18-12.
Out of the tank.
But the problem is, Steve-O, they're starting their first tackle on their 40. We need them to start on their try line.
This is Andrew Ryan. He's made a half break, and Britain desperate in defence. Morley and Maguire. Here is Craig Wing. Back it goes to Scott Hill, and Scott Hill escapes the clutches of 2, gives it to Brett Camorley, and he will fire it wide on the bounce. And it comes back this way with Berrigan, and Berrigan to Camorley again. He steps away from Farrell, away also from the substitute Paul Johnson. It's the last one though, and Berrigan waits, and here is Scott Hill again, and the kick all along the ground, and Carney calls and picks up, And Carney gets out of trouble for Britain and steps away from the challenges, and still going, Carney!
Great effort. He's worked overtime. And there you see him having a real go at the referee, Glenn Black, saying that he got one right in the mush. But that's the type of spirit that you have to show, and Carney has done that in this tournament throughout, and so is this fella here, Stuart Reardon. Do you know, the two wingers, they are showing the way for this Great Britain side.
Here's Paul Johnson again. Gets the offload into Newton. He finds Farrell. Farrell stands, then takes the tackle, and it was a little dangerous there. The legs were up, and he looks at Glenn Black, and he looks at Sivanasi, but that's a lovely dab from Sculthorpe. It's found Maguire. He's away from Minicello, and Maguire. It's opened up for Maguire. Flicks the pass back. Hindmarsh gets the tackle in. And Hindmarsh forces Reardon over the line.
Well, they bombed it. The Australians were screaming for an obstruction. They thought that Sean Long had gone across. What a beautiful chip over the top. Maguire knew exactly what Sculthorpe was doing. But watch this. Long got in the way. You can see there that Matt Singh says it's got to be.
Hindmarsh to the rescue again for Australia, though. And this is pressure now. This is pressure on the British line now.
Especially with the fact that the British boys know that the Australians are so adept at scoring in the last final minutes. Psychologically, they've got us on the ruck.
This is Badiris. Badiris so close. And he's almost in touch. They tried desperately, the British defence, to get him over the line. Wouldn't go. This is Willie Mason. Willie Mason again. Hauled down. 3 tackles gone, 3 remaining. Badiris waits. Spins it to Kimorley. Wing is on his inside. Goes further wide to Berrigan. And Berrigan is halted, but gets the ball away. And here is Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon for the line. And Britain again in defence. Tackle number 4. Matt Singh. Kimorley waits, finds Minicello. Scott Hill. And Scott Hill gets the ball back. This is Willie Tonga. And Britain again stop the green and gold machine. Last one.
Wonderful defence there. Willie Tonga had a little bit of a swipe at Carney.
It's Scott Hill. They have a man over on the far side wide. Berrigan, great flick pass, and another. This is Matt Singh, and Britain hold him out. Well, he's called, how many times have we called last here? Badiris, Kimorley. Kimorley stabs the ball looking for Hindmarsh. It's on the post. And Sculthorpe has it, but it's over the line. Ian, this is the time for the 1 point, if they can get the field position.
Well, at the moment, Eddie, I don't think it's in the vocabulary. If you get there, have a shot at it. I just think the way they defended their line was absolutely outstanding. They are working for it now. This is an indication teams are getting tired when you can start running from dummy half and make easy yardage back.
Sculthorpe wants it, Farrell wants it, Farrell with a drop goal attempt. He's missed it.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it, throughout this series.
Senior was there to cover. Here is Badiris. Badiris back on the inside to Fitzgibbon. Here's Kimorley again. And Kimorley tormenting them with a kick down the line, looking for Luke Rooney. Carney does well.
Superb night, Brian Carney. And this is where they've got to really lift now.
Well, they have defended for their lives all night, and that's a wonderful tackle from Gleeson. Ryan to Kimorley, shape for the kick, flung it wide to Scott Hill, and he will come inside, got the ball away, Senior to win the test, Senior to win the match for Great Britain, Keith Senior with the try. It was a gift, it was wrapped up in green and gold ribbons. Keith Senior swooped, and that will do it. Ian Millwood tipped
Australia, they had to throw everything at it. And you've got to compliment Great Britain. The way they pushed up, no one hung back and said, what are you going to deliver? They pushed up and forced an error. And that's a great thing when you force an error.
And that's what they've done virtually all night on the stand-offs, Scott Hill. They really have forced him. And when you're chasing the game, like on this occasion, he knew he had to put it. He positioned himself so well to Keith Senior. But not only that, watch how he runs on the arc. He'll run on the angle and go away from the defence that's coming at him. He knows they're coming, and that's the way. He run on the arc away. That's it. Britain are in the Tri-Nations final. This will wrap it up. Listen to the crowd here. It's been a long time coming as this. Sheer desperation, and sometimes when you're desperate, it can all go ever so wrong. But they won't mind. They know they are Tri-Nation final bound.
And so do those three. Phil Clark, the manager, Brian Noble, the head coach, and his assistant, John Sharp. They're on the way down to the sideline, and Andy Farrell's going to make it 4 from 4, and Great Britain are going to go home with a win against the world champions. And they are in the Tri-Nations final. 24 points to 12. Andy Farrell's Lions have beaten the world champions here at Wigan. And Wayne Bennett will have lost his first international. Brian Noble will have won his first international against Australia at any level. And there's the full-time siren. And the last Great Britain win of 12 points or more against Australia was way back in Melbourne, 1992.